This
July exhibition really shocked me. Look, the crowd is so thin, it feels like there's hardly anyone here. Today is the second day of the exhibition, and I feel like this is the least crowded one in all the years I've attended. There's no one here. Can you see that? This has never happened before. I've been attending exhibitions for over 10, 20 years, and this is the first time it's been like this. There's basically no one. The 27th China International Building Decoration Fair, held from July 8th to the 11th at the Panzhou Exhibition Center, is one of the industry's major events. Similar to the Canton Fair, it is designed to attract overseas importers and promote exports. Widely regarded as a key event in the building materials sector, it is often referred to as a Canton Fair of the industry. According to reports from Chinese media, this year's fair spans 300,000 square meters, with nearly 2,000 exhibitors. Organizers expect to attract over 200,000 professional visitors from both inside and outside of China, making it the leading global event for the home building and decoration industry. However, the reality fell far short of expectations. Similar to the Canton Fair, the absence of European and American customers led to a dramatic drop in participation from Chinese manufacturers. Visitor interest also waned, leaving this year's fair sparsely attended and lacking the usual vibrant atmosphere. It's really unbelievable, guys. Let me show you the venue. This has to be the least attended exhibition I've ever been to. Really, last year's building fair had more people than this, and this is only the first day, when the attendance is usually the highest. I'm standing on the elevator. Let me show you. Look. In the past, people would be packed together. I really don't think this will ever happen again. In previous years, the fair used to fill 8 halls, but this time, due to the low number of exhibitors, 5 halls were closed, leaving just 3 open. The Guangzhou Building Decoration Fair is falling apart. Exhibitors are starting to pull out. Halls 6-1, 8-1, 1-2, 12-2, and 13-2 are all empty. What's even worse is that it looks like all the home customization companies have agreed to focus on Song-style aesthetics together. There are no more craft showcases, no more policy showcases, and even the big brands have lowered their profiles. Brands like Opain, Sophia, and Golden Zebang are switching to smaller store and distribution models. You could start with as little as 100 square meters. The more the exhibition looks like this, the less the distributors seem willing to commit. I have to ask, what's going on with this market? Brothers, can you believe how dire the building materials industry is right now? It's 1:30 p.m., smack in the middle of the day. This Guangzhou exhibition used to be so packed you couldn't find a parking spot within 3 to 5 kilometers. Streets were totally clogged. Now, this parking lot's a ghost town, practically deserted. Barely any cars, hardly any people showing up. This industry is in a deep hole, just crashing hard. Come on, let's check the exhibition halls. Empty. No cars, no crowds. All these brands pouring hundreds of thousands, even millions into this, they're gonna get hammered. The Guangzhou Building Fair just wrapped up, and man, I've never seen it this grim. 8 years I've been coming here, and this one hit hard. Right from day one, I felt a chill walking in. Pazhou subway station used to be a madhouse, wall-to-wall people. This year, barely a soul, not even a hint of a crowd. By the first afternoon, the halls had some buzz, but outside, dead. Turns out 5 entire halls were completely empty. Even the ones open were only about 80% full, with 20% just sitting vacant. Our ceiling exhibit? Big names didn't even bother showing up. Jinshu Mingtian stole the spotlight with a few new honeycomb boards, different styles and colors, but that was it. No other highlights. Other sectors? That big home improvement push Opain was hyping 2 years ago? Gone. How much longer can our ceiling, wall, and cabinet businesses hang on? And don't get me started on these renovation projects everyone's talking about. Supposed to be the next big thing for our industry. Are they our saving grace or just another scam to bleed us dry? Feedback from exhibitors revealed that this year's Guangzhou Building Expo had the fewest participating companies in 5 years. Typically released by June, the booth layout was delayed until a week before the event, indicating exhibitors' last-minute indecision, a first in the event's history. Additionally, many new rest areas were added in the exhibition halls, presented as visitor amenities, but actually masking numerous vacant booths. This year's expo shifted from its traditional product-focused format to a performance show. No groundbreaking innovations were showcased. Instead, Live streaming setups, promotional ads, slogans for short video accounts, and extravagant performances to attract customers dominated. These tactics, mirroring short video platform strategies, aim to spark engagement. However, organizers candidly admitted that this year's turnout was unexpectedly dismal. Let's take a look at Sun Wei-ge, the CEO of a former home furniture company, as he summed up this year's event.
2025广州建博会今天结束了，没有泛起一点大的浪花。
The 2025 Guangzhou Building Fair wrapped up today, and it barely made a ripple. Let's face it, the once mighty king of home building materials expo has fallen hard, its shine long gone. I see three big questions that top brands, major stores, and big fairs haven't grappled with, maybe never even thought about. First, why'd you start your company in the first place? Second, what's changed in this brutal market? And third, what are you actually doing for your distributors? Most are flunking this test, obsessed with their own profits, but here's the kicker. If distributors can't survive, how are you going to make money down the line? Reality check, the industry is tapped out. Overproduction's choking us. Products are dime a dozen, and prices are dirt cheap like cabbage. You think brands can still swoop in and get blind loyalty from consumers? The hardline quota will make distributors rush to stock up and pay? That splashing cash on a booth at some expo will reel in a flood of agents? Or chasing this song-style aesthetics fad will magically bring you back to life? Get real. From 2020 to 2024, most bosses have snapped out of it. All the expo glitz and hype, it's not fixing the market's real problems. In addition to the Guangzhou Building Fair, the 26th China Aluminum Door and Window Building Decoration Fair, also known as the Fengqi Fair, opened on July 8th in Foshan, about 25 kilometers from the Canton Fair. This event is also considered a significant exhibition for the building materials industry, often referred to as the annual feast and barometer of the aluminum industry. The organizers claim that the Fengqi Fair, held alongside the Guangzhou Building Fair, is one of the key events for the 2025 Guangdong Trades Nationally initiative. However, the reality was even more disappointing. The Fengqi Fair was even more dismal than the Guangzhou Building Fair. One exhibitor in the door and window industry said their experience was worse than the street vendors selling grilled sausages outside.
今年的风车展会真的是太不尽人意。
This year's Fengqi Fair was a total letdown. Brothers, not a customer in sight, not even a trace of one. I wandered around, checked it out, and it's mostly just industry folks. No new products, no cutting-edge tech, no fresh marketing ideas. The big pitch? We've got AC inside. AC's our selling point now. You do better taking notes from the street vendors slinging roasted sausages. Those ladies cleaning up at this fair, serving up 5 different sausage flavors and raking it in.
我今天呢，来到了凤池装饰。
Today, I'm at the Fengqi Building Materials Market, the heart of China's aluminum trade in Foshan's Dali area. Let's scope out this fair. In years past, this place would be a madhouse, wall-to-wall people, but check this square behind me, not a soul within 5 meters. That's how grim the building materials scene is right now. Now, look at the main road outside Fengqi. Cars are actually moving. Can you believe it? Back in the day, bumpers were barely 30 centimeters apart. Now they're just crawling along. It's clear the construction industry's heyday is done. Springtime for building materials? Not in China anymore. Let's head inside the fair and see how rough things are for the aluminum trade. The video shows that the aisles were filled with exhibitors, but there were almost no visitors, let alone customers.
这里是每一年凤池
This is the main passage at the Fengqi Fair, and there's basically no one here. The crowd size right now is probably less than 1/20th of the peak, and most of the people here are just staff from the manufacturers. So the whole aluminum industry really confirms what I said before. China's building materials industry is down to about 20% of its peak. Exhibitors generally reported that this year's door and window fair had the lowest attendance, and exhibitors face the worst losses.
7月8号，第26届
On July 8th at 11:30 a.m., the crowd at the 26th Fengqi Window and Door exhibition was noticeably thin. This year's event has been the least amount of people in all its years. Both visitors and exhibitors are scarce. The situation for both domestic and international affairs is the same. If you don't come, it's like you're giving up. But if you do come, you almost feel like your heart's already given up. There are no highlights this year. There are hardly any new products being developed. In past years, there would always be something exciting, some new products. This year, the only thing new might be the low prices. In the past, this place would be so packed you could hardly move. Last year, you would see people in high heels and black stockings, but not this year. Not even a ripple in their social media. The 26th Window and Door Fair is probably the worst and most desolate one ever.
As reports note, trade fairs reflect industry trends. The lackluster turnout at two major building materials expos mirrors the downturn and deepening crisis across China's building materials and construction decoration sectors. A comment from a fair participant pointed out, if the big tree falls, how can the branches thrive? With the real estate industry in decline, construction, building materials, and decoration industries naturally can't do well. Ultimately, the decline of the building materials industry is closely tied to the collapse of the real estate market. In recent years, China's real estate market has continued to decline, and the debt crisis of major companies like Evergrande, starting in 2021, marked the end of the real estate boom. As a crucial pillar of China's economy, the downturn in real estate has directly impacted industries like construction, building materials, home furnishings, and home appliances. The building materials market is facing a significant downturn, and the situation across various markets clearly reflect this. Both large building materials markets and shopping centers are seeing a lack of foot traffic and activity. Large home goods building materials chains like Red Star Macklin and Justco, once bustling with activity and thriving businesses, now have most of their stores shut down. Even parking lots are empty, prompting Red Star Macklin to close numerous locations in recent years. On June 30th, Red Star Macklin officially announced the closure of its store in Changsha. A TikTok user visited the mall to explore the situation. Changsha's biggest Red Star Macklin just announced it's shutting down for good. What's next for all the landlords, shop owners, and workers here? Are physical stores really in such bad shape? Let's walk through this mall. You can see it's a ghost town, not a soul around. The first floor shops, probably just hanging on by a thread. Second and third floors, mostly deserted. It's brutal out here, no question. This closure was bound to happen. I checked the official comments online. Landlords aren't getting rent, and businesses are fighting to stay afloat. An industry insider from Nanjing stated that in the next 3 years, half the physical stores in the building materials industry may be forced to close.
大胆地预测一下啊，未来的3年之内。
Brothers, here's a bold call. In the next 3 years, a ton of big players in the building materials game are gonna crash. Not just small brands, big names too. Malls are tanking, customers are drying up, and stores are shutting left and right. Take a look at Lihe Jingsheng. Half the shops on both sides are boarded up. In this messed up environment, it's not just brick and mortar stores getting hit hard. Online's a struggle too.
今年最惨的行业就是进城行业。
Brothers, the building materials industry is getting hammered this year. Hands down the worst and toughest out there. There's no room left to climb. It's all downhill from here, and that's pretty much set in stone. This year's rough, but next year is gonna be brutal. New homes, barely any. Renovations, hardly happening. The market's a mess, and the competition's cutthroat. The days of opening a shop and raking in, long gone. And here's another kick in the teeth. Us building materials folks are stuck chasing unpaid client debts, leaving our cash flow bone dry. We still gotta pay wages every month, stock up on materials, and it's breaking the bank. I bet every one of us in this game has hit this wall. Doesn't matter how tight you are with clients or friends, this mess is unavoidable. In short, 5 main factors have driven the downturn in the building materials industry. First, the broader economic environment. Drastic macroeconomic shifts have ended the building materials industry's profitable era. Over 40 years of China's reforms, the market has moved from undersupply to oversupply. Like other sectors, the industry faces overcapacity, severe product homogenization, and intensifying competition. Fierce price wars have left manufacturers unable to sell even at a loss, with backlogged inventory becoming routine, placing immense pressure on distributors and manufacturers. Second, the real estate market collapse. According to China's National Bureau of Statistics, new home sales in 2024 fell 12.9% year-on-year, with residential sales down 14.1%. In 2025, the market shows no recovery and continues to decline. Falling new home sales have reduced renovation demand, directly hitting the building materials industry, trapping it in a vicious cycle without sufficient market support. Third, financial crises from broken cash flows. Recent debt crises in real estate have spread to the building materials industry. For instance, Evergrande's bankruptcy, with over 2.4 trillion yuan in debt, impacted numerous suppliers. Many of these small to medium enterprises with fragile cash flows face severe disruptions from unpaid developer debts, leading to operational struggles or bankruptcy. Fourth, defaults on local government and city investment bonds have led to severe payment delays for government-led projects. These large-scale projects use bidding processes, ostensibly evaluating qualifications, quality, price, and service, but often involve hidden practices like public relations and bribery. Even when distributors secure projects, lengthy payment approvals and debt-ridden local governments prioritize private enterprises last, causing significant delays. Distributors, having invested heavily, face immense survival pressure due to prolonged non-payment. Fifth, widespread business difficulties have fueled fraud and absconding, affecting the building materials industry. For example, decoration companies' entry fee trap. Once key partners, these companies have become a nightmare for distributors. Many demand high entry fees without sales guarantees, some prioritizing fee collection over core operations. When business falters, they vanish, leaving distributors to bear the losses. This model causes significant distress, with one failed partnership potentially leading to bankruptcy. Additionally, some manufacturers' short-sighted actions have caused heavy losses for distributors. Many initially promised strategic cooperation to support brand promotion. Yet once distributors boost brand visibility and market share, manufacturers bypass them to partner directly with top local decoration companies, seizing hard-earned market shares. Data shows 80% of manufacturers engage in this practice. Such profit-driven, dishonest behavior leaves distributors abandoned despite significant investments, severely undermining their confidence.